Welcome to our little show, where the wild ideas flow. We plant the seeds in dusty ground, watch them rise without a sound. Marketing dreams, tech extremes, AI's the spark behind the beams. Tales from the dirt road, where the whispers turn bold. Stories twist and stories grow. Where will our story go? From gravel paths to
Happy New Year, everyone. It is unbelievably 2026, and the Tales from the Dirt Road continues to roll. So we are over the holiday magic. We are wrapping up the year and starting anew. And I, of course, am Tony Van, here with the lovely and talented
I'm Liz Hirsch. It's great to
Liz
be here.
Hirsch. Liz Hirsch. Yeah. I know, everyone. So, just a little pat on our back. Congratulations. We have had 350 downloads to this point, which is so exciting. I'm pretty sure that 348 of them were for Liz, and maybe two of them were, my mom and a distant uncle or something like that. So that's pretty much where we are, I'm sure. So, anyway, we are kicking off the year with some of our most favorite topics, and today we thought it might be fun to talk a little bit about resolutions. What did everyone promise themselves? So, Liz, what are your thoughts on resolutions generally?
So I have mixed feelings, but I do take time to think about what I want to accomplish in the new year. And I want to back up because I take a different approach. Excuse me, I take a different approach from most people. The Roman calendar that we follow, it's great. I'm not going to escape it anytime soon. Um, I like to follow the Chinese Lunar New Year. Yes. So I have about 6 weeks left of what I consider to be the year, right? And in this case, it's been the year of the snake, which was all about shedding what no longer serves us. So I can definitely say that 2025 was, from a shedding perspective, fantastic. I still have some more shedding to do, and I still have some more prep to do. My prep work it starts to take place in the fall. I think that's when a lot of really good groundwork is laid. Mostly, I guess maybe more so from a business perspective. On the personal side, I don't have to spend quite as much time like digging into strategy and planning, right?
Sure, sure.
So on the business side of things, I am really excited about the strategy that I've put in place, and Tony, you and we've talked about it. I'm
Yeah.
rolling with that in 2026. I don't want to talk too much about that because this is more about resolutions than business planning, right? So, I think it was in 2024. I wanted to, I knew I needed to read more, right? I so much scrolling, whether that's on the phone or on Netflix, whatever it was. I was like, you know what? I gotta pull back from this, and I have to commit to reading, whether
Yeah.
that's a physical book or I did get into audiobooks. That was always something that I had kind of resisted. But I'm doing better with, walking and listening, or doing some cleaning and listening, right? So and that's been going well. I think in 2024, I think I read like 5 books. In 2025, I think it was like 10 or 11, right? So now as we get into 2026, I'm hoping to up that even more. I
Nice.
read a lot of nonfiction, a lot of business books. I'm trying to sprinkle in a few more novels, just because I think that's a good thing.
Sure, sure,
So
sure.
yeah, I think in well, I think I did one novel in 2025. So hopefully I'll do a few more this coming year. So one resolution that's continuing into the new year is to read more. I'm not giving that one up.
That's good. That's
And
good.
then this next one, it's going to sound weird. I want to breathe more. And I know you're like, what? We're, we're humans. We just naturally breathe.
Yeah.
Um,
Say more, please. Say more.
yes. So right now I'm reading Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. I only have a couple pages left. So I'm counting that as a book that I finished in
Yeah. Check that
2025.
off. Right.
Yes. Yeah. Um, there are so many great passages in this book. I would recommend it to anyone. Near the end of the book, though, he gets into breath, right? And um, living in the present moment is so important. And one of the best ways to do that is to stop and breathe and connect with that inner, that true self, your inner self, and live in the present moment, right? Because we're constantly, oh my God, what happened last month or last year, right? We're always ruminating about that, or we're stressing about, okay, what do I have to get done even later today or tomorrow or in a month, right? Or what is the future going to bring? But living in the present moment is so important. And there's this one passage in the book where he talks about breathing, and I'm like, oh, dang, it's breathing. It's all about breathing, like consciously breathing. So I'm going to be breathing more this year. I already do. I wake up every morning, most mornings, and I do some sort of yoga, breath work, meditation. So there's that piece. I'm good there, but I really need to work on pausing and breathing more during the day.
Yeah.
That's that's the piece that I need to work on for 2026.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So your takeaway, the things that you're going to work on are basically reading more, increasing your intake in reading. I don't want to get ticky tacky, but I wanted to understand, does reading now include intake of audio booking as well, or is that added on? And then go ahead.
I count audiobooks as, yes, I have read a book.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I was going to say you need to be kinder to yourself if you're not, because
Yeah.
not to be hardcore. We've got some history. My mom, people know, have dementia, Alzheimer's, and it's important to keep that mind working. And I think that if we are truly engaged in audiobooks, and your mind is thinking about what the narrative is, then you're basically, I'm going to say not basically reading, but I mean it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's the intake. So
Yep.
cool. And then the second one is just being present, just breathing.
Breathing and yes, I should say, instead of just breathing, yes, being present in the moment. Yeah.
So I have to ask you, didn't, so first of all, I mean, fantastic. Love it. I've known you for, gosh, many years. I never realized um, the calendar in which you're on. We may need to refocus on what time we do our podcast. I mean, we may need to figure that out. But so did I miss it? What is 2026? What is that? Is that the year of the pig, the rooster? Like what year is
Oh,
that
yes.
now?
Um, let me sanity check this, but I am 99% sure it is the year of the fire horse. So
Whoa.
I know.
Okay. Which
Pretty
is what is, I
pumped.
mean, I assume something like passionate or racing, or what is that? Should we ask our listeners to look that up? What is the year the fire horse represent?
Yeah, great question. So it's a new year. I don't think I've ever, since I've been doing this, I have not lived through a horse year. So
Okay.
I'm still getting up to speed to be totally
No, that's
transparent.
great. No, I love it though. No, no, no.
And obviously, so there's different elements in Chinese medicine and their approach. So like I think, oh gosh, don't quote me on this, but I think last year may have been like a water snake, right? And this year's a fire horse, right? So there's different combinations of it. It's not as simple as just, oh, we're cycling through, the 12, I think it's 12 Chinese side, right? Like every year is going to have some different components kind of based on where things are.
Oh, okay.
Think fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's cool. No, that's great. Well, I wish you the grandest of support and or luck. I don't know if luck is I've decided that luck is not as lucky as it used to be. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's great. Well, we have very similar thoughts now. I do. I'm still stuck on the Roman calendar, so nothing exciting there for me. So I unfortunately do not have another 6 weeks to fine tune anything. But I am not, excuse me, I'm not necessarily a resolution guy. I used to be. I will tell you, I probably, I don't know, 10 years ago or so, I was, very write them down and these are my life goals and blah, blah, blah. And what I think I've figured out is that, kind of to your point, there is nothing magical about December 31st to January 1 other than what um, humans make it, in my opinion. So, I mean, obviously, there's astronomical issues and, whoops, and, just like the seasons change, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, there's nothing magic. We could take March 15th, the Ides of March, and make that. So I've just decided that's not. But there is something, the effect of, okay, at some point you have to have a look at where you are and are you making it? Or I guess you don't. I mean, I guess I have friends that are like, I haven't done, I think I'm doing fine, and you're like, okay, well, cool, good for you. But yeah, so I'm theming this year. So my theme for 2026, if you will, is the theme of the creative. And I say that in the fact that and you and I have one similar option or similar thought, but I have had several. I might call them projects, but I don't know that that's really it. Things all written down that I have not executed, and I think that's probably a failure of just time. And I am one of those people that I feel like if I don't have all of the things in the bucket, then there's no reason to start filling the water. It's just one of those things where I just feel like I have to have everything lined up in place. Like, today I'm doing this big build and it's like one of those things where I'm really having to force myself because in my head I need to have everything like, ready to go. This is Tony Van. So if I go on a trip, specifically a road trip where there is a ton of like luggage or whatever, I ask everyone involved in the road trip to please place all of their luggage at the tailgate or end of the vehicle
Yes.
because I want to, lack of a better term, sit on the horizon so that maybe I can, evaluate all of the pieces. And I will tell you, and not, it's psychological. I know it's psychological. If someone brings a last minute backpack or a last minute overnight bag or a cosmetic bag, it throws me over the edge. And I have no idea. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yes.
Just pile it on top, right? Or it'll just fit in that wedge. Like, but I don't know why. So that is one of the reasons why I have trouble with resolutions is that I don't know that I can see the 12 months to make those. But anyway, so enough about my psychology and the lack of. So you're the creative. So my resolution here is I'm going to pick 2 or 3 projects. I'm picking 3. I don't know that I get through 3 that I have wanted to do for many years that I have just not. Many years since COVID, basically. So as
Yeah.
everyone knows, everyone had a lot of time in COVID. So I have several book ideas. I've got a couple of blog ideas. I want to flesh those out. Are they going to be finished by 2026? I don't know, but I don't think so. But
Yeah.
am I going to start? Yeah, I definitely want to do that. 2 is the second one, if you will, is the what you're talking about, which is I am very bad at being present. I am that person that checks something off before it occurs, looking at the next step. What's the next step? What's the next step? And I don't take that time to breathe in the space while something is happening. And I really want to do that for sure. And I think that goes also to just focus on different things. Whether it's faith or it's family or it's passion project. I think that it's one of those deals where I'm getting to a point. This year will be what do you call it? A benchmark birthday, which once again, that's 100% societal pressure. That's not me, but I'll have a speed limit now on my birthday, and so I feel like I've got about 10 years plus or minus to continue working. Maybe hopefully less than that, but I don't want to do something I don't want to do for 10 more years. I want to do what I want to do. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's it. Those are the 2 to 3 ish, very loose resolutions that I don't believe in resolutions.
Yeah.
So breathing, year of the creative, and then find my passion and do that um, for a living. So
Yes. I love that we're on the same page in terms of being present so we can check in throughout the year. This will be a
yeah,
good
we
excuse.
should. We should be like, are you present right now? Or are you thinking about something else? Let's just call each other out right on the podcast.
Yes. I
Um,
also love your packing philosophy. Well, first of all, I love that you have an approach. I think that's key. I like to do what I call test packs. And people think I'm crazy.
oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, if it's a small weekend trip, if I'm going somewhere that I've gone, I'm going to visit a friend in Jersey, right? Like I know what I'm gonna bring, right? Generally speaking, right? But if it's a big trip, if it's a big ski trip, or we're going overseas to Europe and I got to figure out what this looks like, I will do like I'll figure out everything that I'm wearing, everything that I'm bringing. And I will, yes, I will even plan out some of my outfits because I want to think about that ahead of time, not when I'm
Sure.
there trying to get up and go sightsee. Like I want to
Right.
maximize my time when I'm there, right? So I plan things out and maybe like a month or two in advance, like I will do a test pack. And I'm like, all right, this is what fits. I'm gonna do this backpack over this one and this rolly over this one, right? I figure that all out. So that way it's again few less things I have to worry about when I'm there,
Right.
a little bit less stress in the days leading up to the trip because we all know it was big trips, like it's a lot. It's a lot. You've got getting the dog to the boarding and this and wrapping up work. It can be a lot. And if I don't have to worry about what's going to physically fit in my suitcase, I'm good. That's a good thing.
I don't think that's, I mean, you say it's crazy. I have never done that. I think the closest I ever got, which I've now abandoned this, but for a while, which this is something else deep, but for a while, I used to roll my outfits all together. Specifically, I mean, this was obviously prior to the pandemic, but when I was
Yeah.
traveling a lot for work, I did not also want to think about, oh my gosh, did I forget my socks or did I? I mean, it's always the belt or the socks or like
Right.
wrong shoe, like it's something. So I am not a folder, I'm a roller because I've noticed that there are less wrinkles, to your clothes. And then for a while, I would wear suits. So I was doing the hang up bags. And then I realized like, you
Yeah.
don't have to do that. There's a whole philosophy there. I have never
Sure.
done a test pack per se, although I honestly I kind of respect that because at least you're thinking about what that looks like. Now a month ahead to me, well, I mean it's nothing about that. It's the fact that like depending on where you're going, the weather may change in a month. Candidly, vacations for me are good opportunities to shop for the trip, or like I get into vacation mode where I budgeted a couple of new items, but I'm like, that type of thing. So,
Yes. Yes.
well, let me ask you this question since we've moved from resolutions to
To
packing
travel.
here.
Yes.
So I will open myself up and then ask you. So specifically on a road trip to the airport, I don't really care. Kind of care, but don't. If I'm taking a road trip, I have a certain sequence in which things can be packed. So, for instance, all of your clothes and things like that, things that you will be utilizing once you get to the destination, once you arrive, that must be out of sight and in the trunk slash cargo area of your vehicle, whatever that looks like.
Right.
The back seat should remain clean. I mean, nothing back there. I don't care if you have passengers or not. Nothing back in the back seat unless you have a computer that you will know, like some type of tech that you will be utilizing during the trip, which should be no larger than one backpack, by the way, in my head. This is my
Right.
head. And two, potentially a variety of edibles and or snacks, drinks that should be in something appropriate, i.e., a small cooler or appropriate bag, but not like a Walmart sack plastic like junky. Like
Right.
it
Right.
needs, when I look in the rearview mirror, I need to see like organization in the back as well. So
Yes.
what your thoughts? And then I have one story which will, I think, crack you up. But and your thoughts to that, Mrs. Hirsch?
I agree. Um, so couple caveats for what if we are doing a road trip. I agree. Yes. Think clothing, things that I don't need immediate access to, cargo area. For us, that is the bed of the pickup truck. We have specific bins that they're clean on the inside, right? So we could put suitcases, things, right? The things get tucked in.
Yep.
Um, if we are taking a road trip, there's a good chance that our dog is coming with us. So
Yeah.
that's another element that we have to plan for. And to your point of packing thing, right? The bins need to be set. And then Winston is a very large dog. So I think the largest crate that you can buy is what we had to get. So it's massive, right? So that has to then sit on top of the bins and then the tonneau cover gets rolled up and we're good. So then in the back seat, Winston, the I have a truck where the seats they fold up.
Yep.
So he gets the double wide, the center and one of the seats. That's his area. And truthfully, he just lays down. He curls up into surprisingly a pretty tiny ball. It's super
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah. Dogs do that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then the one seat that's behind the passenger seat, that is stacked in a very specific way. To your point, snacks, we have our little cooler. We both have our work bags in case we need to grab the laptop. So yes, there's a method to the madness. Yeah.
There's some organization there. See, I love that. That's what I mean. And we used to take the dog, and the dog's gotten older, so we just basically
So it's
board the dog.
harder.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I had forgotten about wildlife for sure. So that's um,
Wildlife.
that's wildlife, pets, whatever. Yeah. So this may be a funny kind of end here, but so before my wife and I were married, we were taking a trip up to see some relatives. One of my cousins was getting married in Colorado Springs, and she had never really been. So, and I'm originally from that area, Colorado. So, we kind of decided, hey, we'll do this road trip. Well, one of my favorite things to do driving from my home state of Oklahoma to Colorado is getting a bag of potato chips. Liz, if you have not done this, I encourage you and everyone else listening to do this because it's fantastic. Getting a bag of potato chips at your local wherever and start driving west. And what happens is ultimately you're driving and the bag of chips, because of the air pressure, starts to basically inflate, lack of a better term. And so we were driving, we drove from basically Oklahoma City through Amarillo up through the panhandle of Texas and then through southern Colorado. And we were driving. And at the time I had, it was a nice car, but it was like a Land Rover, Range Rover, 2006 and had 100 and some odd thousand miles. And if you've ever owned a Range Rover or Land Rover, they tell you to buy two, one for parts and one to drive. And that's probably a true statement. But anyway, I loved it. It was like having a frisky English woman always back talk to me while I was driving. So we were going up a hill and really the first kind of hill, if you will, that we had hit. And about the time that we got to maybe two-thirds, three-quarters up the hill, Cindy, my wife, looks over and says, "Look, babe, a bear," and points outside. At the same time, miraculously, the entire dashboard becomes a Christmas tree in the car and it goes to like limp mode. And then at the same time, so three things. Look, hun, a bear. Bling, 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 bling. And the potato chips explode in the back of the car, which I had not accounted for. I've done the chip trick multiple times. I've never had it explode. It's always been really fun to like open them up once you get to Denver or whatever, but never explode.
Yeah.
So I basically, this is a mandatory change of pants because I have like, I thought our engine has exploded. We're going to go backwards down the hill. A bear's going to eat us. And I'm probably, going to be single for the rest of my life because I immediately become a sailor with my vocabulary, right? So, all of that being said, we did make it up the hill in limp mode. We basically pulled off to the convenience store and were able to like turn the car off and turn the car back on, and it seemed fine. Filled it up with gas, cleaned up the potato chips, and for God's sakes, I never ever saw the damn bear. So
Oh.
that's the story of the potato chips. But luckily, all that being said, there's a moral here. The attaboy moral is since there was no junk in the seats, the cleanup was pretty easy on the potato
That
chips
one
because
smooth.
it was just
Yeah.
there. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What kind of bear would it have been?
I
A
think it
black
was probably a black bear.
bear? Okay.
I have no idea. I mean, she never really described it. She's not a bear enthusiast. What's funny about we're really getting off the resolution. Maybe we should resolve to be more focused. What's funny is bears have been kind of a thing with us, which it's not like we that trip we saw two more bears, which they were black bears, just in Manitou, just north of Colorado Springs. We actually went to a wonderful place called the Broadmoor. This was in like 2017.
Oh, yeah.
So we had gone to brunch at the Broadmoor and then drove up and saw a couple of bears at I think it's called Angel Falls or Sisters Falls, Seven Sisters Falls. Anyway, and then multiple times while we have gone to the other side towards you a little bit, Gatlinburg, towards you to the east. That's not really towards you at all. But anyway, that's also one of my funs. But anyway, we see bears all the time. We see bears climbing
Love
trees
that
and in people's trash. And it's really crazy to me because people will say, like, well, I never saw. And but I'm like, we see bears all of the time.
all
Like
the
it's
time.
it's a weird thing. So yeah. Anyway, but
Love it.
yeah. Any other thoughts? I wish you the best in the Fire Horse era. Like this, I feel like
You.
this is going to be a Taylor Swift era thing for you. So,
Well, let's go down that path quickly.
hmm
So, um, Taylor Swift was born in 1989, which was a snake year. So, because this past year was a snake, clearly a very good year for her, right? And I think we're all seeing that, right? So it's great. Um, I would love if it's at all possible before this snake year ends, if we could get a few from the vault tracks from Reputation, I would be so excited. So excited. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Um,
Taylor Swift, if you're listening, if you have dialed into the Tales
Tales
from the Dirt
from the Dirt
Road
Road. Yes.
podcast, Liz Hirsch is requesting a couple of vault releases, 3 vault releases for this
Or
year.
even one. I'd take one.
Oh, she's not greedy. She is not greedy. She'll just take one. She will just take one. Well, that's good. Well, that's well, Liz. I will tell you, as I always do. You're doing great. Just generally, I know you as a person, and I'm proud to know you as a person. And I know that
Oh,
2026 is going to be spectacular for you this year, and
it's gonna be great.
it's going to be great. It really is. It's going to be great. So, and to all of our listeners who have so generously subscribed and listened to us every week, thank you so much. And we wish you a wonderful 20. 2026. So, on that note, I'll wrap it up. I'm Tony Van,
And I'm Liz Hirsch.
and we hope to talk to you next week.
From gravel paths to starlit skies, we chase the sparks with open eyes. The future hums in the air tonight. Every step feels like first light. Will it bend like a willow or roar like a stream? Will it build a new world